Hey. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. Tonight, we're repping the Army. What's up, Mecha Army? Let's go. What do you know about that? Yeah. Welcome back. It's Wednesday. Hump Day. Yes. And we're going to actually build tonight. Imagine that, right? But first, let's get some business out of the way, yeah? If you're interested, maybe you are. If you're interested in the tools and materials that we work with here tonight, I highly suggest that you hit the Amazon link below in the description. That side, if you're watching on Facebook now, I do get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It goes to help out the show and help out the channel and everything like that. Yeah. If you want to rep the Army, like I wore at GBWC. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Go hit up www.childofmecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You will find the Mecha Army shirt, hats. You'll find the Mecha Decals Insignia series. You'll find the Ace Pilot series and a whole lot more. You'll also find prints and hats and other stuff. So go load up on that. And then if you really want to show your support for what we do here, man, go hit up the Child of Mecha Patreon. A lot of cool stuff going on over there. Monthly giveaways, monthly hangouts, all sorts of fun stuff. So, if you have the means to do so, I highly suggest that you do. Yeah, go check it out. And then, of course, if you are interested in kits, tools, paints, accessories, Mecha Decals, sheets 1, 2, and 3, those are all in stock and shipping now, right down here at our good friends USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine folks down there will definitely have what you need. Now, it was made public early this morning here in the States that GBWC 2021 is finito. It is canceled. They pulled the plug on it. For good reason. Yeah, for good reason. We're still getting through this thing, and, vaccination rates are steadily going up, which is a good thing. But we're not there yet. And a lot of other countries aren't there yet. And the rumor has it is that Japan is having some challenges. So it makes sense. Totally makes sense. So they're going to have a replacement contest. But it's called the Gunpla Builders Contest. Original names. We don't know much about it. All we can go on is the few line description or few lines of information that we have from the press release earlier today. They say it will. What was the exact line? Let me look this up because I want to get this correct for you guys. Something about everyone, right? And like I said, I don't want to misquote this because this, it matters, right? Let's see here. That it can, quote, can be enjoyed by everyone. Now, whatever that means, no idea. I'm assuming that it's going to be a virtual event. I'd be surprised if it's not. But the big question is that if it is a virtual event, who is it open to? Is it open just to GBWC countries? Or is it open worldwide? I think it would be really cool if it was open worldwide. It would give other countries that are non-GBWC countries the opportunity to compete, right? Like all the fine folks down in South America, all the fine folks in Europe, Africa even, right? All those fine individuals that have great talent, right? Let them compete, I say. Let them compete. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But more to come on that, I guess, right? It's almost May. So what, we've got about 7 months till the end of the year. So not a whole lot of time. So hopefully we get more information sooner rather than later, right? So there's that. Now, I will say it here in plain. If they are going to be having a virtual event, I will not be participating. No. I will not be participating. I don't know. My reasoning behind that is because I want to do other stuff. Mostly. Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. I want to make other stuff, and I don't necessarily feel that my skill set right now is back to GBWC level, or at least my GBWC level, back before the hiatus, right? I think it's still probably a few months away from tinkering and practicing and getting back to that, right? You're not necessarily gone for 8 months and not touch a kit and then come back and spend 2 or 3 months practicing and everything and be expected to be back to that level. It just doesn't happen like that. It's like gaining weight and losing weight. It takes no time to gain the weight, but it takes for fucking ever to lose it, right? So that's kind of how the skill set is, right? So but I think the main reason that I don't want to necessarily compete in an online thing is that I want to build other stuff right now. My interests are not, as of right this second, not necessarily toward GBWC, right? It's just that's just how I'm feeling right now. I love where the Quel is going, and I love the progress that we're making on it, and how fast we're ripping through this thing, and I'm very, very pleased with this thing. And then after this, I want a little bit of freedom to kind of build what I want. Sue me, right? Yeah, George, fuck you. He says, oh my god, Tim wants to build for fun? Wow. Shut up, George. I hope you wake up late for your 6 a.m. show tomorrow. Smart ass. Anyway, no, I mean, like, I definitely want to build other things. I want to, and obviously other projects too, right? The book, the decals, the videos, all of that. That for me right now is kind of priority. And selfishly, I made a statement a few weeks ago about if GBWC was canceled. And it is. So that means I get to build my Battle Beast. Yes. Battle Beasts. Yes. The Battle Beast is on. Battle Beasts is on. Get your ideas, kids, because we're gonna battle with beasts. Jesus. Yeah, the Battle Beast idea, I'm still, like, really, really geeked on it. And now that GBWC is finito, I can just go hog on the Battle Beast idea, right? Because I just think that there's so much room for creativity in that. And artistry, even. Yeah. I really, really, really want to do this. Because I've got a lot of ideas for this group build off, whatever we're doing with this, right? We'll flesh it out as time goes on. But kiddies, get your Battle Beast ideas formulated. We're going to war. Yes. Yes. I so love this idea. I really, really do. So anyway, I told you we would be building tonight, and I am going to keep that promise. So I don't really have too much else other than that. Thank you cards and stuff are out in the wild. So I know several folks have gotten their thank you cards and stuff like that for, housewarming gifts and all that. Stupidly appreciated. So if you were one of those said people, keep an eye on your mailbox. Obviously, people on the West Coast, gonna take a little bit of time. But yeah, so that's all out there. Keep an eye out on your mailbox. What else? Yeah, so me and Amber had a great evening last night. Just real quick, and I will keep this short. We made ice cream, right? We make homemade ice cream. And we made 2 flavors that we never had made before last night, and they were rocking, you guys. The first one was apple fritter ice cream. Yeah, apple fritter ice cream. You guys, it's amazing. Think of apple fritter flavored ice cream, then with chunks of apple fritter in it. Oh, it's vicious. And then the other one that we made, which is really, really good too, lemon blueberry muffin ice cream. Yeah. Lemon ice cream. Greg Blair, he says, I want apple fritters from Wawa now. They are the best. I lose it over Wawa apple fritters. They're so bad for you, but they're so freaking good at the same time. And we were going to use those, but my local Wawa had sold out by the time I went there. They always do anyway, so I wasn't necessarily surprised by that. So we used the next best option, McDonald's apple fritters, which are very good, by the way. As apple fritters go, they're very, very good. So we made that, and then, like I said, the lemon blueberry muffin ice cream. So lemon flavored ice cream with cut up blueberry muffins, which were brand spanking fresh, and then a swirl of blueberry pie filling in it. Fire. It was awesome. Brian said, still with the ice cream? Yes, motherfucker, still with the ice cream, because we laid it down with the ice cream last night. It was fire. Shut up, Brian. Let me have my thing. Anyway. Alright, I just wanted to tell you guys that because it was great, and we're really proud of it. So, just saying. Anyway, let's just real quick get caught up with the chat, because I know there's a lot of people hanging out with us tonight. Let's see. Gary's with us. What's up, Gary? Mr. Wyrag Gumpla. Hey-o. We still tackle some challenges, even here in Oakland for vaccination. Dude, right? Don Zwergo, he's over there on Twitch. He says, by everyone, the same as they did it last year, so it's open worldwide. We in Germany had the chance in that last year, and we're happy about it. Yeah, so hopefully it's worldwide again. Yeah, hopefully it's worldwide again. I think that would be a great thing. Yeah. Robert Cottrell's over there on Twitch. What's up, Robert? Good to see you, man. Let's see. Bry Guy. No BGBWC. I was already working on it. LOL. Oh, well. Dude, you just have more time to work on it now. Look at it that way. Right? George says, yes, good call, Tim. Seems like you've got lots on your plate. Yeah. It is what it is. Robert Cottrell says, sounds good to me. Have fun. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's see. There's Bill. Mr. Rushlam. He says, okay, got an idea for Little Mecha Army Build Exercises series. Like first one, using mixed materials, build a detailed thruster. Interesting, right? That's an interesting idea. I kind of dig that. Dude. Bill continues, so then everyone can post pics of how they did it and give inspiration to others in how to find parts that are outside the box thinking. Almost like homework or like a class project. Bill, I like that idea. I really, really do. I think we need to think about this. And now's not the time, because like I said, I told you guys we'd be building tonight. I want to keep that promise, right? I want to keep that promise. Let's see. Robert Cottrell says, I go through that when it comes to my photography. After my dad passed away, I have changed a lot. Dude, I'm sorry for that. That sucks. But Robert, your photography's getting really good, dude. For real. I'm not bullshitting you either. It's quality. Let's see. Sam L, he's over there on YouTube. They're awesome, dude. Thank you, man. Greg Blair says, thanks again for the card, buddy. Dude, no, thank you. Let's see. We're just gonna run through the chat here just real quick. Let's see. Miko says, must be an East Coast thing. Heard of Wawa, never seen it or had it. Yeah, it is an East Coast thing. Sorry. Bill says, wait, when did McDonald's start carrying apple fritters? They only have fried apple pies around here. Dude, double check their menu. They got apple fritters up in here. Maybe it's to compete with Wawa. I don't know. But they got apple fritters up in his bumpy. Yeah. They're good too. Not as good as Wawa's. Wawa's are fire. Oh my god. Kodokai Mr. Bryan says, yeah, more a Jersey and South on the East Coast establishment. Yeah, it's kind of like mid-Atlantic, right? So, like Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, I think. But I don't know if it's beyond those few states. I could be wrong. And I think they have like outliers here and scattered here and there. But I think it's just kind of a mid-Atlantic thing. But man, if you get the chance to come out this way, Oh. So good. So good. Pabs is with us. He says, you have enough things. We're taking ice cream away. You'll get it back at the end of the class. Good one, Pabs. Good one, Pabs. Let's see. Josh, Mr. Viper, he's over there on Twitch. He's giving us a little Gundam head guy. What's up, Josh? Good to see you, buddy. Brian says, I'm fine with the ice cream chat. It's good to have diverse passions. It's just fun. Gary says, hi. Wish to be back building when I get home. Dude, hurry up. Chop, chop. Let's go. Let's see. 30. I know, Michael. Shut up. God. Let's see. Miko says, scratch built thruster? Kit bash thruster. Yeah. Bill, as usual, the idea guy. No, definitely. Definitely. Bill says, Miko Plow, mixed material. So not just Bandai plastic. Use metal, bottle caps, resin, Bandai plastic, etc. Would need at least 2 different sources. I dig this idea very, very much. Yes. Yes. I like this idea, Bill. Robert Cottrell says, we have apple fritters in Ohio. Yeah, but are they Wawa apple fritters, Robert? That's the thing. Or are you talking about the McDonald's? Yeah. McDonald's is pretty good. They're not, like, mind-blowing amazing. But they're good. They're still good, as far as apple fritters go. They're not, like, bakery, like, quality apple fritters. They're just, you know, your cheap, just good, stupid apple fritters, if that makes sense, right? Scuffle says, Wawa here in Jersey used to only be South Jersey. They started moving northward in recent years, though. There you go. Let's see. Miko says, ooh, turn that into a dollar store challenge. I'm not a huge fan of the dollar store type of challenge thing. I don't know why. I'm just not. Because there's so much more outside of the dollar store thing that you can take advantage of. That's just my opinion. Anyway, Samuel says, every time we go to Florida, my wife freaks and wants to stop at Wawa. Oh, yeah, they do have them in Florida in places. I forgot about that. Bill says, it very much could be, Miko. This is just an idea for getting idea juices flowing. I love it. I love this idea. Yeah. Let's see. Howard over there on Twitter. He said, I bought several weapons and I am separating them and I am going to build my beast. That's what we're talking about. Robert Cottrell says, I used to make them when I was a baker. Ooh, Robert knows the secrets then. Let's go. Kenneth says, evening, what's up with McDonald's? Oh, we're just talking about apple fritters, dude. That's all. Nothing crazy. Greg Blair says, I'm going out to Wawa now. Be back in a few. Greg, pick me up a few, buddy. Jay Santos says, not north enough. Apparently there's one in Bayonne, but who wants to go out there? Fair. Yeah. Zero Kai wants to know, Tim, what's a battle beast? Battle beasts, plural. Make sure you do that because it battle beasts, right? Because that's the actual product name. Battle beasts were this toy line from kind of, I guess, the mid-late 80s. And they were awesome. They were like these 2-inch little PVC kind of plasticky figures, right? And they only had 2 points of articulation, just, you know, in the shoulders. So they could all they could do is this, right? But they were these cool ass little amalgamations of kind of mechanized armor and anthropomorphic animals with crazy weapons and stuff like that. And they fought in factions, right? And they had this sticker crest on their chest. Thank you, Bill. There's a good link. They had this sticker crest, much like Transformers of old, where you rub it and it revealed the faction that they were in. And unlike Transformers, where they only had 2 factions, it was 3 factions. It was very much a rock paper scissors style of combat, if you will. So what did they have? They had fire, water, and plant, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be totally wrong. Scuffle, I know. He says, Transformers has more than 2 factions. Just saying. Yeah, but who cares? It's just the Autobots and Decepticons. Nobody cares what else there is. Just, they don't. That's facts. That's facts. Plain and simple. But anyway, what I'm thinking is that we can take Gundam kits, right? And then take those crazy kind of animal, like figurines that you see in hobby stores and places like that, and get really creative and combine the two and kind of make our own versions of Battle Beasts. And they were just awesome. They were a big part of my early childhood, and I loved them. And then when I thought about it the other week watching Brian's stream, I'm like, yo, this has gotta happen. This has gotta happen. So yeah. Bill says, weren't some of them holographic like the Visionaries? Yeah, because all of them were. You had to, rub it to activate the heat reveal thing, gimmick, whatever. Brian says it was like Earth or nature. Yeah. Miko says, Scuffle, you triggered him. No, whatever, don't care. Scuffle says, the Quintessons would heavily disagree with your statement. The Quintessons can eat a dick. Taylor's with us over there on YouTube. He says, there were more than 2 factions? According to Scuffle. I'm fucking with you, Scuffle. But no, seriously, the Quintessons can eat a dick. I just don't care about them. They just don't matter. Anyway. Bill says, actually, it was only 2 factions in the 80s. You plebs had to ruin the simple truth of Transformers, right? Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. Scuffle says, Battle Beasts, you could have 3 of the same exact figure, but rub the sticker would have different factions. Shenanigans. No, yeah, totally. I mean, but that was the stupid fun of it. And then also peeling the stickers off and associating your favorite figures with those particular factions. It's a way of cheating. I know. Whatever. I don't care. It was Battle Beasts or freedom. Bitches. God, don't start that. Anyway. Chris says, cries in Predacon. Nobody cares about that. They were okay. I'll take that. I take that back. People do care about that. Anyway. Scuffle says, the Quintessons were in the 80s movie. Ay. Pap says, which is another faction, Bill. You played yourself. Brandon says, anyone remember the little warrior figures that came with one of those rubber poppers on their back? The ones you flip inside out and they pop up into the air? No. Kodokai, LOL. Bill says, see my comment, Scuffle. Scuffle says, Transformers the universe, not just the Transformers themselves. Uh-oh. I'm being creative. If you guys don't know, that's James. He says, hey, pretty lady. Hey there, sexy. How you doing? Anyway, Michael Dawson says, I care. I know you do, Michael. You totally care about this. Just stop and we'll get to it in a minute. Just be patient. Let us have our thing. Anyway, Pav says, James, talking to himself over there. Stop looking in the mirror, mate. Scuffle says, actually in the 80s G1. Okay, we're splitting hairs at this point, right? Anyway. Gary says, seeing that Exceed Gundam head, want to build it while I'm here. There you go. But anyway, yes, so I think the Battle Beast idea is a go after the GM Quel. So we'll refine the idea and kind of flesh it out. And I will talk to Bill more about the homework class project Mecha Army thingy. And yeah. We'll get it all settled and squared away and kind of roll it out. I think that'll be a good thing. I think it'll be fun. And maybe we could review them on the stream. You know? Everybody's finished work. We could take a look at them. Almost have like a critiqual type of review for class projects. That's a fail in my opinion. To me, that's a fail. Whatever the fucking terminology is. Anyway, Zero Kai says we're getting to boomer territory. I kind of agree with you. Nathan. I do. Anyway. Chris Pab says on the phone to the lawyers right now. Dude, you can't claim copyright on parody, dick. Oh, I'm Chris Pabs. I'm critical. To me, it's a fail. Whatever. Parody. 10 out of 6 poodoos. I love it. Anyway, we're not gonna jump on Pabs and critical because he's actually gonna have me on the show at some point. So I don't want to piss him off too much. Shit. Oh, Bill. Oh, Bill. Oh, Bill. Oh. Hey. Pab says my voice is at least a couple octaves higher. Come on, man. Right? Right? James is like, nah, let's jump on Pabs, right? Come on, Pabs. Tim, do the robot flailing arms thing again. Ah! Yo, just real quick, we're watching, me and Amber are watching, rewatching Attack on Titan, season 1. And there's that one Titan that just, he runs like, ah, like this. It kills me every goddamn time I see it. And I told Amber we were out today. We had to go to Barnes & Noble to pick up a book that we pre-ordered for her. And I told her, I said, would I embarrass you if I ran like a Titan into Barnes & Noble? She's like, yes. I'm like, can I do it? No. Hilarious. Fucking hilarious. Anyway. All right. So, the goggles are going on. The visor's going on. Time to go. It's time to go. Zero Kai Nathan says Chris is slamming his head on his desk. Right? For real. James says, did you do it anyway? No, because I'm a good dad. Anyway. Bill says, Scuffle, yeah, some weird deal. Some of the sequels can be imported, but not all. And Robotech has to be kept safe as an IP. Man, fuck Harmony Gold. That's a parody, by the way. I don't want to get fucking sued. Because you know they will. Shit. Run like a Titan next GBWC and record it. Gary, don't give me ideas, man. Don't. Or I'll run like the old school Mazinga cartoon where he's like that. Oh, I remember that from the 80s, man. That is a no-go. Hard pass. Anyway, Hey, look at that. We're actually on camera too. 45 minutes into the stream. Hey. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so what we're gonna do tonight, we're gonna take a little bit of a left turn, and we're actually going to work on the other shoulder because I don't think that I did any of this on stream. I think all of this was off stream if I remember correctly. So tonight we're gonna work with some Apex parts here. We're gonna get those glued into place. Show you how to form the bar lights here that I love that detail. And then also these kind of front-facing little lights there. They are just beveled and super small and tiny and just nice and subtle and makes the shoulder look good. Yeah? All right. So there's the finished product. Here's where we're starting, right? I've already got the scribing and I filled in these two areas with plastic strip, pla plate for you less knowledgeable folks out there. Pla plate. Ugh. Anyway, so got that all filled, got the scribing done, got these pieces actually glued into place. They're not finished or anything. I mean, they're still very, very raw plastic. And then got these two little guys back here set in place as well. So we got to get the big boy on there, and then we got to get this guy on here as well. So I think that's where we're going to start tonight. I think we're going to get big boy and little guy placed on here. And placement is actually pretty damned crucial at this, right? Plot plate! Damn it, James. And then George, of course, has to pile on. Plot plate rules, Tim. Shut up, George. You're killing me, buddy. You're killing me. Michael Dawson says, plot sheet? No. That's a hard pass, you guys. Plot plate is not a thing! It's a brand! As Bill said, you fucking plebs. And I mean that with all the love in the world. Yeah. Oh my God, Josh. Josh actually pulled out the Kanye Pepper emoji. I love it. Mr. Edward Leonard, LOL, night, Tim. Edward, thank you, buddy. Good night. It's always good to see you, man. Always good to see you. Yeah, if you're interested in what the Kanye Pepper is, go check out Gumplin Miami. Our good friend Chris. He is the proprietor of the good old Kanye Pepper. Oh. There's a whole backstory to that. You're going to have to talk to him or Carl, Mr. Gumpla, Goalie Zero. Yeah, those two. Yeah, those two. Jesus. Anyway, all right, so here's one of the plates that we're going to be using this fine evening, and I'm going to have to find the other one because I've misplaced it for you. Sorry. Anyway, but while we do that, yeah. Nathan says, also getting back into the hobby as well and pick up some new skills. Thanks along the way. Dude, always. That's what we do. Gary says, nice, them details, though. Gary, get your shit together. Get home. Get back on it. Come on. I don't think my visor's on straight. It doesn't look very straight. If you guys missed George's stream today at 6 a.m., it's fine. But one of the funny things is like he had his visor on, right? And he was reading comments, so he was like this. Oh, I was like this close to screenshotting it. and fucking with you, George. This close, buddy. This close. He was all like, with the eyes bugged out and everything. Oh, it was great. It was great. But I didn't. Because I'm nice. Sometimes. Oh my. Anyway, all right. So let's get these cut off the frames here. Yeah. Let's see. Mr. William Thompson's with us. What did I miss, dude? We've been talking and all that fun stuff. So yeah. Baby wipes. Add that to the list, right? James says it's like how Aussies call gasoline petrol. Dude, you're not the only ones. Don't front. You're not the only ones. The English do it too. Right, Pabs? Bill says, so question for any of you who use green type or Tamiya quick type. I was watching someone who used 50-50 mix green type and epoxy sculpt. He said it made it a bit softer to work. But same excuse me, but same hardness. He says it's to finer details better. Anyone have experience with this technique? Yes and no, Bill. My friend Win, Mr. Paint Pusher, does that kind of thing. He uses green stuff, whatever. I guess from Games Workshop or something. I'm not totally familiar with it, so forgive me if you guys are. So he mixes that with Tamiya Quick Type, and he really likes it. And obviously, you know the level of Win's work. So yeah. Gary says, still need to get them people vaccinated. Damn it, I want to be back in the normal living, right? George says, copyrighted Tim, flip me the royalties, please. Dude, I didn't do it, though, so no royalties for you. DT Warrior, what up, dude? He says, I've pressed the like button. Have you? Hey. Michael Dawson, 6 a.m.? That's way too early. Dude, I agree. I don't know why I was up that early. I'll be honest. Let's see. Bill says, yeah, need Gary back in action. Totally agree. George's bug eyes over Tim's bug eyes. Dude, no, absolutely. I totally agree. Kenneth says, but we already screenshot Tim. Hey. Gary says, George coffee equals Tim's Diet Coke Zero. Yeah. Let's see. Gary, Gary. I'm reading the comment that James put, thinking of Gary back in action, and it caused me to say Gary, right? Yeah. Bill says, cool. May need to try it out. Yeah, experiment with it, dude. Miko says, been working on plow plating my Master Grade Hazel and been putting in work. Practice with the chopper, saving me so much time. Dude, I'll give you a pass on the plow plate thing just because you're working with a chopper. George says, too early? Candy asses. Oh, yeah. Yep. Bill says, plow plating, is that when your 3-year-old puts bulletproof plates on your toys? Oh, yes. Zero Kai says, like how George is a morning bird and Tim is a night owl. Dude, at 100%. Half the time that I watch George is when I'm going to bed and he's actually waking up. So, yeah. Draw your own conclusions there, kids. Let's see. DT Warrior, where do you get those extra parts? USA Gundam Store. Yes, 100%, man. These are Apex parts. These are awesome. These guys right here. These high def Apex option parts. They come in a bunch of different frames. Highly suggest them. I've used them sparingly on this build. Used these guys on the back of the arm here on this added elbow protrusion armor thing. Basically just made it look like a rail, you know, that you could, you know, attach more weapons, more loadout, whatever to. So they're great. Highly suggested. Asperion says, keep up the plotting. Nice. George says, George doesn't sleep. You know the man's tired when he's talking in the third person. You know he is. John Lynn, what up? He says, I catch George, or she catch George's. I catch George when I get ready for work sometimes. There you go. Who sleeps anymore, right? Sleep is for the weak. Anyway. All right, let's get these parts cut off here because it's already 10:55. Son of a bitch. All right, so for these, you see how it has the little connector and supports there? You do have to cut through those. And you can see here, all of these connected the twin of that. So there's a lot, right? There's a lot. So we're going to have to kind of get through these here real quick. But they are pretty easy to cut through. So it's not all that, it's not really difficult, right? And honestly, you can't cut through Apex parts without using your USA Gundam Store branded hobby knife. Hey. Sorry, man. Like, I got to. Anyway. So, just kind of really... This piece right here is extra, is pretty thick. This is, I don't know, probably a 1.25 mil, close to 1.5 mil, in thickness, right? Where some of these parts, especially the smaller ones, are really, really thin, and you need to be very careful, especially with these little guys, where they just have these kind of long protrusions and stuff like that. You have to be very, very ginger with those because those can snap on you. This material, this resin 3D printed material is pretty durable, but it's also a little brittle. So you have to be careful with it, okay? That's the main key. You have to be careful with it. Fucking Josh. Those details look spicy with the Kanye pepper. Nice. Thank you, Josh. But then you get this, kind of this porcupine, effect here that you do, you gotta dance with the devil here. You gotta trim this off, right? And then the other minor thing that I picked up on these parts is that especially the bigger parts can have a little bit of a wavy underside. So it's very, very important to sand, file, whatever, the underside of the pieces, right? And that's just the printing technology. There's nothing, there's no real way to get around that and have the easeability of popping these off here, through the supports and stuff like that. It's just not gonna happen. So we, like I said, we do our due diligence here, dance with the devil a little bit, and get this part clean, right? So that's about as good as we're gonna take it down with the hobby knife. So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna pull out the 400 sanding block, and we're gonna take it to this guy for, let's get all the crud off the work surface here. And we're just gonna work this thing down here, and you can start to see it's starting, focus, there you go, it's starting to level off a little bit, right? Starting to. It's gonna need some work, and that's to be expected, right? That's to be expected. Now, one thing that you're gonna notice, especially with the sandpaper here, is that it starts to gunk up, like, pretty quickly. It's just the material, right? So we got to keep that going. Now, now that we've got kind of a starting off point here, kind of grab an aggressive file and just kind of start to go to work here and get this thing completely leveled out. right? And that's making really, really quick work of that, right? And you can see there, like there's hardly any little connection points in the middle there. They're just on the edges, right? So that obviously tells me that there's more material. There was more material kind of hanging down, if you will, from the middle part of this particular piece. The bigger the piece, the more you're going to kind of notice that. At least from what I've seen. So, whoop. And there we go. We're definitely getting there. That's getting really, really nice and clean so far. Really nice and clean. Oh, shit. James. If James is still on here. James says, such a shill. Shut up, James. Dick. But no, James, you would probably like the Battle Beasts idea. Because, it's being creative. Yeah. The Battle Beast idea. So, I don't know if they had them in Australia, but back in like the 80s, mid 80s, they had these little figures. They were like 2-inch little like plastic PVC figures. And they were just like these mechanized, anthropomorphic animal creatures. And they had this mechanized armor like Gunpla, right? And they were fucking awesome. So I think that's what we're going to do next. And we're going to make kind of a big thing about it. And kind of make a build-off thing. So if you want to get creative, let's go. All right, so this is looking actually pretty good right now with that rough file. Now we're really gonna just kind of smooth this thing out with the file plate here, and just get this thing dead flat. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. Make sure you reverse directions from what you're holding. Very nice, very nice. And so we had it. I had it in this orientation before, holding it like this, and now we're gonna spin it back around. We're gonna go back this way. Okay, that's starting to get really, really nice. You might be able to see it. Let's see. You can kind of see that high point right there in the middle. This side and the front are getting super smooth, but there's this rough spot right in the middle. So we're going to kind of hold down this part right in the middle and apply pressure to that. Hopefully that will, yep, there we go. And that just did a pretty good job. We'll spin this guy back around and do the same exact thing. All right, I think that's pretty much ready to go. Let me check flatness here by popping it on something there. Little bit of gap on this side, so we're gonna take this thing back. Okay, looks pretty good. Alright, so basically what I'm doing is I'm checking for the gap between the surface of the plate and the bottom of the piece. That side looks pretty good. Front looks good. This side now looks fine. And the back looks good as well. So this thing's basically ready to go, ready to apply. So if we compare this with its twin here, right? Looks nice. So this this basically goes right up against the break point right here, right? Goes right up against that, and then it's centered horizontally here, like right there. Okay, so I wish that you could use plastic magic with this. It's not a great thing to do so. Yeah. DT Warrior says, do you have a coupon for USA Gundam Store? I do not have a discount code. Honestly, I never wanted one. That's just me. So many others that have discount codes, right? So many others. Why not use theirs? Give them some love, right? Anyway, all right. Kenneth's got a question.
We have a question.
Kenneth says, about that steel sanding plate, will it rust over time? Required oil for maintenance. I don't believe so, Kenneth, because something like, number one, I don't have a high humidity content level in my home, so there's very little moisture in the air. But this thing is I don't know if this is stainless steel or whatever, but it's definitely to like a high polish and stuff like that. I've never had any tools rust on me, so there's that. Yeah, but I wouldn't imagine the Minishima plates rusting over time. But now I you know, honestly, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Yeah, Sperion says it looks stainless, and that's kind of what I thought too. But I don't know. I'm not a metal guy, right? Not a metal guy. Let's see. Julio's with us. What up, fam? What up, Julio? James says, nah, I've had mine for ages. It's stainless steel. There you go. There you go. Look what the Beagle dragged in. Yeah, right? Brian, hey. With the good. The good one. The good. Okay, so, like I said, I'd love to use plastic magic on this so we have abundant placement time, but we can't. This is resin, 3D printed resin. So we need to use super glue. Super glue. Now, one thing that I am going to do is scuff up the surface just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more surface area for the glue to grip. There we go. There we go. Come on, focus. There we go. Jolly good. Anyway. Let's get that seated back. And we got our good old Bob Smith. Good old Bob. He's our favorite boy. Let's get some. There we go. A big old dab will do ya, right? Now, one thing that I definitely would suggest is to spread this out and make sure you get proper glue coverage from this. Now, you're going to have by doing this, you're going to have squeeze out. That's fine. I'd rather have an abundance of glue squeeze out than someplace that's pulling up or, you know, something like that. All right, moment of truth here. So I'm going to really dig in. Okay. That looks pretty good. All right, now just press that down, get the glue squeezed out as much as humanly possible. Clean that edge up a little bit. It's already starting to cure. That's a good thing. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe like a few tenths of a millimeter off center. I'm not overly concerned about it though, because I know this one's a few tenths of a millimeter off center, so not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. All right, but I'm happy, pretty happy with that placement. That looks pretty decent, pretty decent. So I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it at this point. All right, so now we need this guy here, which is one of these, right? So, get our USA Gundam Store hobby knife for James. And just do the same thing. Just cut this out very gingerly. What can I say? Adam's my boy. Gotta support. And he sells Mecha Decals for me, so, you know. It's a thing. It's a relationship. Come on. Little fight on this one. There we go. Now we got it. Alright. So got that guy right there. Pop him over on the side. Let's see. Miguel Crespo is with us over there on YouTube. He says, go work on your OMG, Chooch. OMC. Julio says, I will. No fight. Like, no fight in him. Holy crap. Julio, what happened to you, dude? Alright. So this piece obviously has a lot less supports in it than the other one that we were working on just a few seconds ago. So this is much easier to clean up. The bottom is much more flat and true, but obviously we need to clean up the remnants of the supports. So we're still going to sand this down and get it flat and all that good stuff here. Okay, good stuff there. All right. So, there we go. Pretty good and clean. So, we're going to run this right to the diamond, or the file plate. I almost said diamond plate. What am I doing here? We're just going to be a little ginger with this thing because this is much... Focus. Come on. There we go. Much thinner than the previous piece. So we need to be careful with this one. Because these are delicate pieces, and you don't want to waste them either because you only get so many. Actually, we're going to go ahead and run this across the file. This little file here is pretty aggressive. So that's kind of why I like this little guy. This is a little generic thing that I picked up somewhere. I don't even remember where I got it. Alright, that's looking really, really nice so far. Just need to get the front file down a little bit. That should do it. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so we'll go with that. Nose is running tonight. Hulu says, they don't love me no more. Let's see. Miko's got a question.
We have a question.
He says, do any of those Apex parts need rescribing on some of the details, or are they pretty flawless? They're pretty good in terms of detail. Now, one thing that you will run into, and honestly, this is pretty much with any 3D printed part, on the round kind of cylindrical shapes here, there's a bit of a bit of stepping in the layers, and realistically, you could just take your hobby knife and just kind of scrape that down and smooth it out, and those disappear very, very quickly. But that's really kind of the only thing that I have noticed with the Apex parts. The parts that I put on here, I did not rescribe any of... Focus? There we go. I didn't rescribe any of this detail in here. All I did was to bevel this side, which we'll do here on this one here in a moment, and then do an outline scribe around the piece just to give it a little bit of depth and separation and stuff. That's the only thing that I've done so far. I think the details are very, very crisp and very nice looking. So, yeah. So good question, Miko. Yeah, Bill says the details are crisp. As for needing additional scribing, that's personal preference. Yeah. Let's see. Julio says, I literally have to work on it. He ain't doing nothing but getting me hyped. Ordered some like a month ago. They still ain't shipped. They don't love me no more. Well, I mean, like Brian said, it's not like you don't know Adam. Come on, man. Just reach out to him. Message the man. Message him. Shit. Stop complaining on the internet like a fucking pleb. Anybody got any details from USA Gundam Store? My order hasn't shipped yet. Man, shut up. I see it all the time. So repetitious. It's like, contact him. You know what I mean? Like, come on. He hasn't responded, LMAO. Try him again. He's a busy dude. And he gets, like, crazy messages, Julio. Don't give me that excuse. Julio, you want something, you better go get it. You want that dog? Go get that dog. All right. Concentrate. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'd buy that for $1. As the old RoboCop saying goes. Bill says, Julio, you lost weight. There's less of you to love. It's true. It's true. Let's see. Julio says, I mean, it's just a straight order, not even asking for anything. So what? That's why we are friends with him. That's why we are associated with him. Reach out to the man. Stop being a little bitch. Jeez. Anyway, Michael Dawson's got a question.
We have a question.
He says, is it cringeworthy to put yourself in universe by painting a kit in your own personal colors and add your name via decal, similar to Char's or Amuro's? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. That's my opinion. I don't think so. Anyway. Let's see here. Yeah, Bill agrees. He says, nah, man, go for it, right? Miko's got a question for us.
We have a question.
He says, this could go for any other GBWC Champs participants as well. Has anyone ever asked you for your autograph? And he says, I get one on my next hat? Christ. Yes. I have been asked for my autograph. Yes. I have signed autographs. Yes. Is it am I flexing? No. It was weird. And but yes, people have asked me for my autograph. Especially the folks the amazing folks in Dubai, the Otaku ME gang over there, and a lot of the winners from the Otaku ME Builders Cup had me sign their trophies and stuff like that, and yes. So there. James says, it's not. My last Goo flight type had my old screen name scribed on the sword, and I'm awesome. It's true. He says, I'll give you money not to sign shit for me. Hey, that's a deal. I'm in it to win it, James. Let's go. Silver Maverick. Ricardo says, I'll ask you for your autograph next time we have dinner. Word. Yeah. Julia says, wow, check out Tim's biceps. Shut up, assholes. It was a question. You know, Miko asked a question, and I mean, what do you want me to do? Lie? Like, come on, man. Anyway. Alright. So. Ay. You dicks. Anyway. Jesus. We need to bevel Big Boy here. The one we just installed. So we're going to do that here right quick. Now, because you've got different levels here, lines and stuff like that, we can't do the simple scraping method. I'm just going to straight cut this thing right down to get it started, and then we'll come back here with a sanding block and kind of finish it off. I'm hesitant to look at the fucking chat right now because you dicks. I'm going to ask for Ricardo's autograph. I'm going to switch it up on him. Ask him for his. Be like, oh my god, you're Silver Maverick? Can I have your autograph? You're famous. Oh my god. Anyway. Jesus. Alright, so we've got this cut in. Now, just kind of sand this guy down, just get it nice and even. Make that kind of hard break point right across it. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Angle's right. Height looks right. I think we're in business. I think we're in business there. All right. Now, obviously, since I changed the surface here, we are going to have to re-scribe in or scribe in some of these, lines that kind of are wrapped over the side there, right? So, because I changed the look of it, that's, reason why I'm scribing these lines in here. All right. Okay. And then just run them down the side here. Looking good. And there's a lot of glue squeeze out of, around this thing. You can see the highlight of it. I'll go back and I'll clean that up. It's not pertinent right now to clean that up on stream, just because I can do that later. All right, so that's 3. Focus. There we go. And these are such short runs on these lines, and I'm just like you can see, I'm freehanding this thing because it's not worth using a guide or anything like that, just because they're just something. A line this short is difficult to fuck up. I'll be real. Even for the most beginner novice, like something like this is super difficult to fuck it up. And watch me fuck it up on camera. God, that would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? But luckily it doesn't look like I'm doing that, so that's a good thing. Plebs who are over 6 feet tall. Goddamn right, Bill. Thank you. Okay. Just getting these lines to depth, and then we will move on. There we go. All right, so that's all we're gonna putz around with here on the resin parts. I do want to show you how to do this little kind of light rail thing, because that is, like I said, one of my favorite details to do here. Now, first thing that we do, obviously, once we get the half round glued down and it cures and everything, is to do the outline scribe. And for that, we're going with 0.20. Always 0.20 for me, doing a outline kind of perimeter scribe. It just, I don't know, for me, that just extra added little width in the line just makes for a better look, in my opinion. Not sure why, just that extra little shadow around the piece just makes it seem separate, right? That's just my opinion, but I've had success with it and I really like it, and I'm sticking with it. So I start with the short sides first, because they're the easiest, at least on this piece. And there's this light bar here is right up against this pre-molded line, so there's no line we have to scribe above the light bar. We just have to get the long scribe in below it, and for that we're going to push just ever so slightly, just to clean out any glue squeeze out, initial groove sets, everything like that. That's just an easy thing to do. But then once you got that, then it's easy enough to go back and do the main line. There we go. And you can kind of see that thing already starting to take shape just with the outline scribe alone. Okay. Just clean out the debris there. Last thing we want to do is have this chisel ramp on us with this fine of a detail. All right, so you hear that kind of clicking, stair-stepping noise, right, like that. I don't know if you guys can hear it over the mic or not, but that means that the line that I'm setting in here is skipping, and it's not completely flat on the bottom. Now, for this size of a line, not a big deal. It's pretty inconsequential. But one thing that I've noticed here is that the main reason why that happens is that you're kind of running into almost like a density threshold or something like that. And the lighter your stroke, the smoother that plastic will become. And also the quicker your movement, that plastic will become a lot smoother in that line as well. It's one thing that I noticed here just recently, scribing some details in on the GM Quel head, and I'm not going to show you guys this because it's still a work in progress. But I think it looks pretty good, and I'm happy with it so far. But I'll show that to you later. But if you're really kind of a stickler on having, you know, smooth, kind of clean scribe lines, just go back over your lines with a light touch in the opposite direction that you started the line with, and then that will smooth that line really, really nicely. Let's see. Great. Now Tim is mainlining his plastic crack. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. So, all right. So, half of the work is already done. You've got this light bar separated, cleaned up, looking good. Now it just needs the separation lines, right? And let's see. Did I use 0.2 for this? I did. Okay. So we'll use the 0.2 millimeter again. And for this, we're going to make a couple quick marks. I like to go about 1 millimeter in on each side. Right like that. And that's just, you know, obviously that's just graphite, that's pencil lead on there, but you can kind of see how those lines are going to help separate that. And this middle is obviously going to be, you know, the main body of the light bar, and the two ends are going to, I guess, you know, be the holder or whatever for the light inside or whatever it is. I don't know. Just, you know, go with it, brainstorming. But let's see. Let's find a millimeter. Here we go. So before you scribe in, make sure that those marks are at a good place, and they're pretty much equal. So I'm good with that. All right. So now this is kind of a little bit of the tough point for this. Now, obviously, you can use tape if you want. You can try scribing jigs, what have you, but I'm gonna freehand this and just take it really slow. You start up at the top, the apex of the half round, right? And then you just start pushing your way into the plastic little by little to form that groove around the half round. And once you got that set in, then spin it around and go in the opposite direction. Okay. That, I think, looks pretty nice. Wonderful. All right, so once you got the groove set in, then go ahead and start bringing this thing to depth. Now, obviously, you don't want to go super, super deep with this line because, I mean, this is only you know, a millimeter wide, half millimeter in thickness, because obviously it's a half round. So it's only half of the, you know, half of the diameter, or in this case, since it's a half round, I guess it would qualify as half of the width. So there you can kind of see the shadow of that line in there, right? On this side. So that's looking pretty good. What time is it? 11:40. Nice. Still got plenty of time. And then we'll do the matchy-matchy thing on this side. Again, start up at the apex of the half round. And just start pushing your chisel into the plastic. And just get just these little slivers of plastic to come off. And just set your groove in there. And that's all that it really takes. And spin it around. Do the same exact thing on the other side. Just little shards, just teeny tiny little shards of plastic. Just little shavings, if you will. And they're minuscule too. Minuscule. Alright, so there we go. Now, we do the same thing. We get this line to its proper depth. You want to be, you know, pretty gentle with this. Because, again, even though this is held on with a solvent-based glue, I glued this on with Plastic Magic, you don't want to be too forceful with it, because it still has the tendency to pop off if you know, too much pressure is applied to it, right? Okay. There, kids, there's our light bar. Good match, right? It's one of my favorite details. One of my favorite details. I really, really like that. All right, let's get caught up with the chat real quick, and then we'll move on to the side here, and we'll start shaping one of these little guys. But chisel discipline. All right, let's see. Josh says, nice, over there on Twitch. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you, man. Bill says, oh, we already read that. Main lining is plastic crack. Yeah, well. Michael Dawson has a question.
We have a question.
Michael says, question, how would you go about adding in lights that are flush against the plastic? So for that, Michael, what I would do is this. So say you know, and this just for example's sake, say you have your surface that you want to scribe that into, right? What I would do first is get the outline of the shape that you want. So you know, little piece of Dymo on here, outline scribe that guy, and then if you want to keep it, if you want to keep the shape square, then you know you can just scribe in the two little separation lines there. But if you want it to be kind of like a half round look, then there's one more additional step with that. What I would do is take your hobby knife and run it right along that line, and shave off that corner of that inside where the light that you're trying to produce is, and that'll start to make that look rounded off, you know, like a half round. And then once you got that shape in there, you go about your two separation lines, then you're basically good to go. It's very similar to the plastic sculpting that we did here on the louvered vents on the back of the leg, right? So it's just, you know, it's just using your hobby knife to create that certain profile, right? So hopefully that helps. Good question, though. Let's see. George has got a question.
We have a question.
He says, on that round part, you're planning and not... You're planing and not carving, correct? On that round part. Carving. Oh, on the separation lines. Yeah. So, like I said, Bill, what I'm doing is starting at the top of the half round, the apex of that half round, and just slightly pushing in to the plastic all the way around, right? Following that groove on the side until you get to the bottom of that half round. You spin it back around, start back at the apex again, and do the same thing on the other side. And you're just a little push here and there, just little bit. You just nibble the plastic away. It's very, very subtle, very slight, very delicate work, right? You're gonna need these 100%. But then once you've got that groove set in, then you go back and you just kind of get that line to depth. Then you're golden after that. So hopefully that answers your question, George. Bill says if it is flush, then you can just scribe them in, paint them. You could also carve out a section and attach something on some styrene to attach from the inside. And another option, obviously, that I kind of forgot here is that if you're wanting to add, and this is just another way to do it, if you wanted to add that kind of half round look, what I would do is use, your 1mm chisel and scribe in, a nice kind of deep-ish groove, and then cut your half round and apply that inside that groove, and that would then look recessed at that point. Carve in your separation lines, bada bing, bada boom, you're good to go. Just another method, right? Just another method. Let's see. Miko's got another question for us. Okie dokie. He says...
We have a question.
Jump the gun. He says, would you mind demonstrating the circle detail from the tutorial on your website? I've tried it, but can't seem to get the hang on getting the cut started. You mean the, shoot, I don't even know if I have that cutting tube anymore, Miko. I don't think that I do. Yeah, it doesn't look like I have it readily available. The thing is so tiny, it just kind of got lost in the mix here. So if that's what you're talking about, the little brass tube cutter, it is difficult to get it started. I won't lie to you. So to get it set in there, to get the groove set in, start slow, use kind of a moderate pressure, and just keep those, the main focal point is to keep those aligned properly, right? The thing was so small, it just fucking disappeared in the mix here. It's probably here somewhere. Don't get me wrong, because I'm finding shit as I speak. A little drill bit, spinny chisel thingy, resin greeblies. Hey, it's fuck, even a scribing jig over here in this pile of mess. An X-Acto saw blade. Hey, what else can we find in Tim's pile of trash? Right? Like, that's my life right now. That's just what the desk looks like, man. That's just, it is what it is. But yeah, just like I said, Miko, focus on alignment. That's the best thing that you can possibly do when you're starting it out. Focus on alignment. Yeah. Let's see. George says, yeah, thanks, Tim. Yes, pushing is planing. Then, yeah, planing. Then, George, sorry. Two different terminologies to do the same thing. Yeah, it is what it is, right? So yeah, so there we go. All right, cool. Let's 11:51. We can get through this very quickly because this doesn't require a whole hell of a lot of work. It just requires some tedium. Again, outline scribe 0.20. So let's go with that first. And this this piece here is 1 millimeter wide by 0.5 millimeter in thickness. So it's definitely a small piece, but under the visor it's sizable, right? That's obviously, you know, true for most of these little details and stuff. All right. This is probably the most crucial step right here, is to get the separation, the perimeter lines nice and straight, and just tight to the piece, because that's what really sells the illusion of not only scale but separation. So especially at the corners, you want to creep up on the corners. Get these lines nice and tight to the piece, and a pretty good depth as well, because again, we want to sell that that look of separation, right? We want to sell that. So by having a slightly deeper panel line than what you would normally have, just slightly, just a little bit, then it helps add that added bit of shadow to the separation. All right. I'll show you why starting with the outline scribe is so crucial here in just a minute when we start to sculpt our shape in. But we need to get this perimeter set first. And get all the crud out of these lines. Okay. So, and since this is so small, we're going to take this thing apart and focus just on the piece, the sub-piece itself here. All right, we're just going to go around this piece, get all of the shavings and debris out of this line. Just do general cleanup here on this separation. Now, obviously this is a little bit more, involved than you would think. But trust me, the look that this thing gives and the benefit that it has when trying to sell the scale is worth it. So worth it. Okay. Clean this corner out of here, and then we'll start to shape this thing down. All right. So, there we go. We got that. You can see that extra shadow around that little part there, right? So that's what we're going for. That's the crucial part. That's the most important. So now we're going to sculpt this thing down, and for that we're going to need a nice, good old sharp hobby knife, preferably one from USA Gundam Store. But what I like to do here is start on the short sides. And we're just going to start by taking off the corner just a little bit. Nothing crazy. But you want that to be even. And there we go. Alright, so you can kind of see how that's now beveled a little bit there, right? And we'll zoom in here once we get finished up. But we're gonna get on the other side here first. Do the same thing. And we're just nibbling at it. Just nibbling it down. There we go. Now you kind of see it, how it's starting to take a little trapezoid shape there, right? That's what we're looking for. What time is it? Cool, 11:59. Almost done here. All right, so now that we've got the two short sides beveled off, now we're going to start on the long sides. Actually, this side was a little out of square. You can scrape it smooth if you're very, very careful. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing to the top side. Okay, so there you can kind of see how it's also trapezoidal there. Now, we're not, I mean, we could be done. We could just leave it at that, and you could have a, you know, a fairly protruding light there. But I don't necessarily like the look of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a little bit off the top here. Okay. So now those bevels become much, much less prominent. But that's okay. Kind of what we're chasing here. Just kind of clean these up by scraping them a little bit. That looks pretty good. All right, so clean that up. There you go. Finished light. Very, very subtle as opposed to that, right? All right, let's get super zoomed in so you can see both of these details in more detail. Let's see here. Where is it? There it is. All right. Okay. And right there you can see, you can kind of see the bevel right there, right? Ooh, stay right there. There you go, that's a good angle. There we go. You can see the bevel there, and then there you go. You can see the bevel on that side, right? And you can see how subtle that is compared to what we started with, right? I mean, look at there's a perfect comparison between the two in terms of height and shape, right? So that's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. And then the little light bar, obviously right there. That's a nice little look there too, right? That's just, I don't know, the light bar is one of my favorite details to add, because it just, I think, adds such a quality of realism, practicality even. It's pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome detail. So, yeah. Anyway, all right, let's real quick get caught up with the chatty chat here. Let's see, where did we leave off? Oh, Kelvin Branham's with us. What's going on, Kelvin? He says, "Oh man, just opened my USA Gundam Store order and forgot I ordered stickers too. They're great." There you go. Miko says, "Damn, no worries. I can wait for when you start doing your pre-recorded tutorials and such." There you go. Which may very well begin next week, because next week's gonna be the first week that I take off to really start to bust things out. So, but yeah, we'll get to that. Let's see. Sparion says, "I think that's one thing they still have in stock." Yeah, man, just Adam is just moving product. The whole time, just moving product. Ceramic scraper you get in them edges. Yeah, but Julio, that's the thing though. I have a ceramic scraper, right? But look at the profile of it here. It's not nearly as sharp. It's roundy on the tip, right? So you're not going to get in as close with this as you would with a hobby knife, unfortunately. So, yeah. Let's see. Just moving through all of this. Michael's talking about his orders and stuff. George says, Tim, will you post tonight's detail work on your Patreon? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I want to finish... well, actually... I can just post the finished... this finished shoulder on there tonight. But yeah, definitely, George. 100%. 100%. I really want to... I'm scribing something interesting on the head, and but that'll go up on the Patreon here too. So yeah. Anyway, let's see here. George says, love that detail, gonna steal and use on my Spartan. Dude, absolutely. Gary says, Sensei doing his thing. Oh, thank you, Gary. Kenneth's got a question for us. Let's reload the button here. Come on. Come on. Really? There we go.
We have a question.
He says, how do you remove superglue overflow on complex corners besides sanding? So, like what you see here, right? Mostly, I will go in with a sharp hobby knife and scrape these little pieces down. But say it's a little more gnarly. It's a little thicker here, right? Right in here especially. So in that tight corner, what I'll do is I'll do a vertical cut right up against the piece first to separate the glue from the piece. That's important, especially if it's a small piece. So if I was to super glue this little piece on here, and I tried a horizontal or you know, base cut, face cut, whatever you want to call it, chances are this piece would pop. Chances are. So that's the importance of doing the vertical cut first, is because you separate the glue from the part. And then you come back in and you do your horizontal, your base cut, face cut, whatever. And then that will separate the glue from the piece. And then get in there after that. If any stragglers, just scrape that down. Real nice. Get in there maybe with a little bit of sandpaper. And just basically do it that way. Now you also could just try to get under this super glue like that, and see, that'll just pop right off. But like I failed to do, do your vertical cut. Do your vertical cut into the piece first. Yeah, and that's my methodology for cleaning off that excess glue. It could be any glue, super glue, plastic magic, whatever. That's just I just find that to be most effective for me. Yeah. Julio says mine's comes to a sharper edge. Sharper. There you go, Julio. Anyway. All right. Good deal. All right, you guys. Good night. Good stream. Good show. Good stuff. Good questions. All of that. Yeah. So, let's put a bow on this thing, wrap it up, and call it a night. Yeah? So, if you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we worked with here tonight, I highly suggest you hit the Amazon link below in the description. That side, if you're watching on Facebook, I do get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It just goes to help support the channel and the stream and what we do here. A lot of cool stuff in there. Like I said, tools and materials, gear for streaming if you're into it, and books for inspiration. And those are really, really kind of worth their weight in gold. I'm adding new stuff there all the time, so go check it out every now and then. Aside from that, if you want to rep the Army, go hit up www.childofmecha.com, hit the store button up at the top. You will see this shirt and many more, including the Mecha Decal Insignia series, the Ace Pilot series, all sorts of other fine t-shirts in there and stuff like that too. You also find hats and prints of my work, so go load up on all that stuff. And if you really want to show your support for what we do here, hit up the Child of Mecha Patreon. There's a lot of cool benefits in that, a lot of pictures that are posted to Patreon that don't necessarily make it to the mainstream social media. We do giveaways, we do hangouts, all sorts of fun stuff over there. Go sign up if you have the ability to do so, and if you want to really show your support, it would be greatly appreciated. And then finally, if you're interested in kits, tools, paints, accessories, Mecha Decals, sheets 1, 2, and 3, those are all in stock and shipping now. Right down yonder from USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine folks down there will definitely have what you need. So, with that being said, I will be back here on Friday to close out the week and continue working on this GM Quel. Next week will be my first off week. So for those of you that missed Monday, we're going to 3-week on, 1 week off type of scenario scheduling, and it's mainly for me to have some ample time to create other content for you guys. So pre-recorded videos, work on the podcast, work on the book, work on the decals, all that stuff. So essentially you guys are going to net more content by losing 2 live streams. I still will be on for that week's mechanism, so can't miss that. But yeah, so we're going to a 3-1 next week. Beginning is the first off week, and then we'll do 3 weeks after that. 1 week off, 3 weeks, 1 week. You know the drill. Anywho, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday, and be safe out there. Build something cool, and I will see you guys on Friday. All right, take care, guys. Bye.